This video documents complete 2024 spending analysis, tracking every single dollar spent across 365 days, totaling $87,450, revealing shocking gaps between perceived spending and actual spending patterns. I thought I knew where my money went. Then I analyzed every single dollar I spent in 2024. Turns out, I was completely wrong about almost everything. Opening with the realization that most people dramatically underestimating spending in certain categories, while overestimating others, creating financial blind spots, where money disappearing into untracked categories, promising complete transparency showing total spending breakdown across all major categories. Biggest surprises where actual spending far exceeded estimates. Small expenses adding up to massive totals, categories most people completely ignore when budgeting, and practical lessons for tracking and controlling spending based on what data actually revealed, not what assumptions suggested. Before watching, guess what percent of your income goes to food. Then compare to the real number. Comment your guess. The tracking methodology establishes credible foundation where every purchase recorded in real time using expense tracking app, Mint, Inab, or spreadsheet. Categorizing each transaction immediately preventing memory-based errors or categorization guessing. Tracking 100% of spending including obvious bills, rent, utilities, insurance, obvious purchases, groceries, gas, dining, and crucially all small purchases, coffee, snacks, apps, subscriptions, that people typically ignore or forget, resulting in 4,847 individual transactions over 365 days, averaging 13.3 purchases per day, demonstrating how frequently money actually leaving accounts compared to conscious awareness of spending, with methodology being essential since studies showing people underestimating spending by 20 to 40% on average when relying on memory or estimation, making actual tracking revealing true patterns invisible to subjective perception. Acknowledging personal context being single adult, living in medium cost of living city earning approximately $87,000 annually, matching spending, representing roughly median to upper middle income, creating relevant comparison for many viewers, though spending patterns varying by income level, life stage, location, and priorities, making personal data, serving as illustrative example, not universal prescription. How many times per day do you spend money? Comment your guess. Answer might shock you. The annual spending breakdown reveals total categories, where housing $26,400, 30.2%. Rent $2,000 per month plus utilities, $200 per month. Transportation $12,800, 14.6%. Car payment $350 per month. Insurance $120 per month. Gas $250 per month. Maintenance $480 per year. Parking $50 per month. Food total $18,600, 21.3%. But breaking into groceries $9,200 and dining out/delivery $9,400, revealing shocking near 50/50 split. Healthcare $4,200, 4.8%. Insurance premiums $250 per month plus copays, prescriptions, dental. Subscriptions and memberships $3,100, 3.5%. Streaming services, gym, software, apps totaling more than realized. Shopping and personal $8,900, 10.2%. Clothing, electronics, home goods, personal care. Entertainment and travel $7,200, 8.2%. Concerts, movies, sports, weekend trips, vacation. Miscellaneous and cash $4,250, 4.9%. ATM withdrawals, gifts, random small purchases. Savings and investments $2,000, 2.3%. Emergency fund contributions, investment accounts representing sadly low percentage. Totaling $87,450 annually across 9 major categories, with percentage breakdowns, revealing spending distribution, where housing being largest single category, but food being surprisingly close second when combining groceries and dining. Transportation consuming nearly 15%, creating substantial fixed cost. And discretionary categories, shopping, entertainment, miscellaneous, totaling nearly 25%, representing significant controllable spending. recognizing that percentages mattering more than absolute amounts, since someone earning $50,000 versus $150,000 having different dollar amounts, but similar percentage distributions, often following 30% housing, 15% transportation, 20% food rough guidelines, with individual variation. What percent of income do you spend on housing? Comment below, let's see the range. The biggest surprises reveal perception-reality gaps, where surprise number 1. Food being 21.3%, not 15% as estimated, showing personal estimate being $13,000 annually, 15%, but actual being $18,600, 21.3%, representing $5,600 or 43% underestimate, driven primarily by dining out and delivery being $9,400, nearly equal to $9,200 groceries, when subjective perception being, I mostly cook at home, creating massive blind spot, where restaurant meals, work lunches, coffee shops, food delivery apps adding up, invisibly, since individual transactions feeling small, $12 lunch, $8 coffee, $35 delivery, but occurring 4 to 5 times weekly, totaling $780 monthly, far exceeding conscious awareness, calculating dining frequency being 6.2 times weekly, 323 times annually, despite perception being occasionally or a couple times per week, demonstrating how daily/weekly small choices accumulating dramatically when measured objectively versus subjectively, learning that food being biggest budget leak for most people, not because groceries expensive, but because convenience eating being frequent, invisible, and completely underestimated when relying on feeling rather than data. Surprise number 2. Subscriptions being $3,100, not $1,200 as estimated, revealing monthly subscription costs being $258, not estimated $100, representing 158% underestimate across 23 different subscriptions, including obvious ones. Netflix $18, Spotify $11, Gym $45, Amazon Prime $15 monthly equivalent, but also forgotten ones, New York Times $17, iCloud storage $3, Dropbox $12, Adobe $10, Audible $15, Patreon $8, LinkedIn Premium $30, Meal Kit service paused but still charging $60 for 3 months unnoticed, mobile game subscriptions $12, meditation app $13, and various others totaling $258 monthly. Demonstrating subscription creep, where signing up being easy, using initially, forgetting about as charges disappear into background noise of bank statements, and never canceling despite reduced usage, calculating only using 11 of 23. Subscriptions regularly, meaning paying $110 monthly, $1,320 annually, for unused services representing pure waste, learning that subscription audit being essential, since these small monthly charges being invisible vampires draining $3,000 plus annually, without providing equivalent value, requiring quarterly review and ruthless cancellation of unused services. Surprise number 3. Transportation being $12,800, not $8,000 as estimated, showing 60% underestimate, driven by invisible costs beyond obvious. Car payment and gas, where car payment $350 and gas $250, totaling $600 monthly, $7,200 annually, being consciously recognized, but insurance $120 monthly, $1,440 annually, maintenance $480 annually, parking $50 monthly, $600 annually, tolls $30 monthly, $360 annually, car washes $25 monthly, $300 annually, registration/fees $120 annually, and occasional Uber/Lyft $80 monthly, $960 annually, totaling additional $4,260 annually, being 3.